Esther, chapter 6. On that night the sleep of the king has fled away, and he commands to bring in the scroll of memorials of the chronicles, and they are read before the king. And it is found written that Mordecai had declared concerning Bigthana and Teresh, two of the eunuchs of the king, of the keepers of the threshold, who sought to put forth a hand on King Ahasuerus. And the king says, "What honor and greatness has been done to Mordecai for this?" And the servants of the king, his ministers, say, "Nothing has been done with him." And the king says, "Who is in the court?" And Haman has come into the outer court of the house of the king, to say to the king to hang Mordecai on the tree that he has prepared for him. And the servants of the king say to him, "Behold, Haman is standing in the court." And the king says, "Let him come in." And Haman comes in, and the king says to him, "What should I do with the man in whose honor the king has delighted?" And Haman says in his heart, "To whom does the king delight to do honor more than myself?" And Haman says to the king, "The man in whose honor the king has delighted, let them bring in royal clothing that the king has put on himself, and a horse on which the king has ridden, and that the royal crown be put on his head, and to give the clothing and the horse into the hand of a man of the heads of the king, the chiefs. And they have clothed the man in whom the honor of the king has delighted, and caused him to ride on the horse in a broad place of the city, and called before him, 'Thus it is done to the man in whose honor the king has delighted.'" And the king says to Haman, "Hurry, take the clothing and the horse as you have spoken, and do so to Mordecai the Jew, who is sitting in the gate of the king. There does not fall a thing of all that you have spoken." And Haman takes the clothing and the horse, and clothed Mordecai, and causes him to ride in a broad place of the city, and calls before him, "Thus it is done to the man in whose glory the king has delighted." And Mordecai turns back to the gate of the king, and Haman has been hurried to his house, mourning and with covered head. And Haman recounts to his wife Zeresh and to all his friends all that has met him. And his wise men and his wife Zeresh say to him, "If Mordecai is of the seed of the Jews before whom you have begun to fall, you are not able for him, but certainly fall before him." They are yet speaking with him, and eunuchs of the king have come, and hurried to bring in Haman to the banquet that Esther has made.